Well, hello YouTube. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Bob, and I did a video the other night, and I've already posted it, and I found that I needed to take it back off. I don't know what that motorize or monitorize or whatever that is that YouTube does. It came back, gave me an email and said that it couldn't be, whatever that word is, monitorized or something like that. So it wouldn't, it gave me a problem with the issue of music. I didn't want to look bad to YouTube, so I went ahead and deleted it, and sorry guys for having to do that, but I'll get this YouTube down pat sooner or later. The only song that I can use is the one that I actually played myself. It's my own song. Nobody can take it from me. They can't say nothing about it, but I only got one that I've got so far that's completed. Well, partially completed, or at least listenable. I've been messing around with the keyboards trying to find some new sounds, and maybe I can come up with some new music to put on my videos, so that way I ain't got to depend on anybody else to kind of get me through the fast forward spots. So just bear with me here. I'm going to reload the last video, or probably have it done before this video comes up. But anyway, I videoed all this, and it didn't get me putting this on, the cross slide didn't get me putting this on because the battery went dead. And we went ahead and showed where we got everything up except for the cross slide and the tailpiece. So now the cross slide, the tailpiece is on. There's a few things that I'd like to change about this Grizzly. Number one, this screw right here that you have to unscrew every time you want to work on your change gears. That's a little aggravating to have to go grab an Allen wrench when I can just grab it right here and loosen it up. So I'm going to turn this into a thumb screw and see how that works. So we're going to change that. Yes, Chris, I'm smoking. Little joke me and Chris has got amongst each other. I seen him barefooted in his shop, and I gave him hell about it. So he's just paying me back. Said if he can't wear barefoot, I can't smoke. So here I am. Look what I'm doing, Chris. Anyway, I went ahead and did a test piece, and it really looks good. It's going to work great once I get this tool bit grinding down pat. It's a little aggravating learning how to sharpen my bits. I'm not sure the contour. I've been watching videos trying to learn it, but I like these inserts, but these things seem to go dull really quick. The other thing that I wanted to change on this lathe, well, not change, but Grizzly should offer this with the lathe when they sell it. If I was ever to use flood coolant, it wouldn't work very well with me using it. It wouldn't work if I wanted to use flood coolant because of one simple reason. There's two holes in this chip pan that the two bolts go up through to hold the lathe down. So you put your bolts in, put your chip pan down on the two holes, and then you put your lathe down on the two holes, or two bolts. The problem with using flood coolant is it's going to go in between the crack because you're not going to get a sealed fit. So the flood coolant is going to go past the crack and go right down into my drawer, down the cabinet, and start a rot process in my shop that I don't want no part of. So I decided that what I'm going to do is I'm going to get me a thin piece of rubber, or actually better yet, use some black RTV gasket maker and put around. I'm going to raise it up just far enough for me to be able to get that stuff on it. And I'm going to put RTV gasket maker around the hole on the chip pan where the bolt comes up through, so that when I tighten it up, if there's a high spot or a low spot, it's going to fill all that up and seal it to the chip pan, so that any flood coolant that comes in here is going to stay in the chip pan. Now, they don't have a very high raised spot here on the sides, so you're kind of limited to flood coolant anyway. I don't like using flood coolant. I've never done it, but I don't like the idea of having to clean up a nasty mess. So we're going to do that to add an option to it. Another thing that I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to make a stop here, a cross slide stop. Don't know how useful that's going to be. Let me look here. Yeah, I don't know what I would do there. Not sure what kind of stop I want to use. Because that's about as far with the cross slide that I would want to go. And that gets me about 1/8 inch away from this jaw right here to my bit. Yeah, I want to eliminate any chance of me ramming this thing into the chuck. It's a nice lathe, and I'm impressed with it so far. It's doing really nice cuts. It's got a lot of bells and whistles that mine didn't have. It's got the power shut off, or quick shut off for emergencies. I like that. In fact, I use that to turn it off and turn it back on. So let's say I've got this thing on. Now remember, I always turn my chuck before I turn anything on. The reason for that is if you turn your chuck, then you know that there's nothing obstructing it. Because you don't never know what you done the day before and you forgot some little minor detail. So it's always a good idea to just take your chuck and just spin it. That way you know, hey, good to go. So I just hit that to stop it. It ain't no big deal to go down here and just turn that back, hit that again, and there you go. It's that simple. You got your forward, your reverse. So that means if I want, I can cut from the other side. Don't see me needing to do that. All in all, I like it. It's going to take some getting used to because I had to raise it. The base of this is raised, let's see, 1.5 inches and 3/4. That'd be 2 1/4. It's 2 1/4 inches higher than my Atlas lathe was, so it's kind of up here a little bit higher than I'd like. I like to be looking down on my work, not straight across at my work. That's going to be something I got to get used to. And let's see, I'm still waiting on my chuck. I ordered a chuck for the tailstock. It's going to take some time getting to know the threading and stuff. To be honest with you, I'm really not interested in threading, simply because I don't feel like things would go well for me. For the simple reason is I've gotten to the point in my life where I'm starting to miss too much the important stuff. I mean, I noticed it going down the road when I'm driving that there's a few things that I've caught myself doing that I would have never done before, like not looking in a certain direction or paying attention to something that I should have paid attention to that I used to. So it's starting to affect me, and I'm not looking forward to this surgery on the 9th. I already got a bunch of scars all over my body right now that I'm not happy with. Now I'm going to have a big old slit right down the front of me, cut me wide open. Just another reason to have a complex, I guess. But anyway, the lathe is here, and I don't know what the next project's going to be or when the next project is, because I really haven't felt like doing anything. And it doesn't help when the people that you admire on YouTube wouldn't give you the time of day. I think that's sad, and I'm going to say it. I don't care if anybody likes it or not. I am in control of what comes out of my mouth, and if I want to say it, I'll say it. That's just that simple. I'm one of those guys that believe that you scratch my back, I scratch yours. Well, no more. I'm going to stop subscribing to people who can't support me back. You know, if I subscribe to you, it's only fair that you return the favor. You know, these guys, some of these guys have gotten way too big. They've become commercialized, and they don't have time for the people who got them where they was at to begin with. And I don't like that. That's not cool. I'm old school. I believe that, you know, one turn deserves another, and that's basically it. So now that we've showed you the lathe up and running, everything works. You know, it's got bigger dials on it. I'm really impressed with that. I can actually see these. So if I want to go in 10,000s, I can go 10,000s. On the Atlas, I couldn't see them. I'm getting blind. And the other thing that's different about this one is the way you turn the cross slide. I mean the compound. When you need to turn this compound, you actually have to get a wrench in here on these nuts and loosen it up, and that's a little aggravating. Considering the fact that they're buried underneath there. Now, if this compound was around this way, you know, I'd have a hard time getting to this one. It's just a minor inconvenience for me. It doesn't say that it's a minor inconvenience to somebody else. I like things to be really simple and easy to get to, and that one's a little messed up for me. Now another thing is tightening down the cross slide. They got two nuts or two Allen head bolts that's countersunk here to tighten this down to the weights. Well, they should have made that with a little lever on both of them, because that lever is really not going to be too much in the way of anything. You really don't need this one over here. You're just tightening it down so it don't move back and forth. So this one can remain an Allen head, but this one over here can be a little lever, and that wouldn't be in the way of nothing. So I may change that too. We'll probably do a video on that, but like I said, I'm getting ready to go into surgery, and I haven't really been feeling like doing anything, and my work is suffering. So I don't know when it'll come out. I want to get started doing some projects, and it'd be nice if I could find somebody around town here to let me video a project for them, but I'm the low man on the totem pole, so I'm not worthy to touch anybody else's shit. Anyway, you guys have a good one, man. Later.